All right. So here we have some start buttons. Of course, we can't really see the actual game unless you have the emulator. Um, Emulator wasn't working for me. So here we have the colors and we have the circle. Center X, center Y. I told you before, you're trying to make it at a certain place, and that's how you divide with the width and height. The radius, that's just this, since a circle, you need to define a radius and fill it. Of course, you want to fill it to true so that you can actually get some, you can get some color. Then you set the canvas to black and you draw the text, general side scroller for on, like in the game, you have some text and that's how you draw the text at a certain position on the canvas. And you move the sprite to a certain position. All of this math is determining the exact position that you want it. And you need to figure that out when, like, if it's here, that's a certain like math thing. Hey, this is divided by 2y and then divided by 3x, like that. And I see that it says open another screen called gameplay. I don't see that code. Where can I see that code? Is there another screen that I don't see? Oh, okay, here.
Why? Yeah. Also, once you do this, try explaining the sprite section to them.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait, let me see all this other code. Okay, and this is the end screen. I'll show this after this before. It's just saying text thanks for playing, has a certain X and Y, and you can open the other screen when you click on the button if you want to play again. Now, this is the actual game. Sorry, gameplay. This is the actual game here. Let me actually see this part. Okay. Here, let me get these comments out the way. Okay, can be changed to whatever you want. Okay. All right, so this, of course, you got to initialize, or you got to say, hey, let's start the game. And once you do that, that's where you set your characters, your buttons, where exactly everything you want it to be. And again, that's more math. Here, I can't see the actual code with these comments in the way. How would I move that? Okay, here. This way. Okay. Here. Started. Okay. So the enemy, I don't know if this is actually 5 word or they're actually saying a barrier. So when this enemy's edge, it reaches an edge, that's when you wanted to move it back to where it started, and then you're gonna like add 1 to the count for like the game score or something like that. And of course, you're going to draw. You're just going to move the game again back to where it started to set it up all over again. Okay, here. Get these stuff out the way. Okay, and as I said, you want the timers for your GIFs. And I think I haven't seen this game in action, but I probably think the sprite is moving the sprite in a certain way and trying to get like the motion in the character is, you need a timer for that. If you don't have a timer, it won't work, because you're going to say 100 milliseconds, and after that another 100 milliseconds. So you got to have a timer that starts from 0. Here, see, And of course, you need to code the actual motion of like jumping up and when you press on the screen for the Flappy Bird. And you're gonna you can have the variables like speed, you can adjust the speed, but the thing is that the user won't be able to adjust. You're going to be setting that default. You could actually make a feature that you can make the user slide up and down the speed that they want. But in this case, we don't have that yet. Correct. It's not okay there. Right. Jay, I didn't think here. I'm trying to read this code before I say anything.
Sorry, what do you say again? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to read this code.
Yeah. I guess the reason why it's so long mainly is because
It's a game.
yeah, it's a full-on functional game. We're not gonna make you, I mean, over time you'll learn the skills to do it, but we're not just gonna, I have the emulator up, but I'm stuck on this.
Oh, you do? Yeah, I've been having trouble with the emulator.
Okay,
Oh,
that's fine. No, that's fine. Danielle, maybe there was a different version we showed you last time. We can show you later other than the emulator. It's like downloading a link on Apple or Android. I'm not sure how it works. But we can go over that once we finish going over this code. Sorry.
yeah. And so are you, let me just ask a simple question. Like, are you doing the
You got
emulator
it.
on
You
your,
said, wait, never mind.
yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, PC, okay. Yeah, no, I've been having trouble with that, so you're not alone.
Yeah. I mean, to make a whole game you'll develop over time. It doesn't come overnight, obviously. We're just showing you the essential parts in order to run like the animation part of it. We went over sprites, which is a pretty important resource or like thing to understand, which is a label with many variables and how you can use different backgrounds in order to make the animation actually work. Uh,
I
so
think
beyond,
yeah,
yeah.
let me just say this real quick. So the jump button, this is the code just for the jump button. And we had like a variable global that sets it to false. We're just setting we're getting the global jump and setting it to true. That's it. Go ahead, Jay. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we can just continue. Do you want to go over this code from start to finish? Maybe not each line, but like overall what each block means.
Yeah, I've been doing that a little bit, but
Yeah. Wait, let's explain the sprite sections to them.
okay. Actually, okay. This line right here. Okay, I said the edge. When the enemy reaches the edge, you want to reset it so that you can get another. I'm guessing enemy is the barrier in this case. And if you collide, like if you collide with the enemy, then then it just closes the screen. That means it goes to the next screen that says thank you for playing. So this is the end and this resets to get another barrier. So you continuously have another barrier coming. And
Yeah.
I said, this is the GIFs. And this is when you initialize, that's when you start the game and it's setting up all of these, like setting up the timer, it's setting up where the character should be, it's setting up like
You want to explain how they can do that exactly? Like, let's say, like the homework we're gonna give them is gonna be we'll just quickly go over it. We're gonna make them do paddle ball, right? So do you want to quickly show them how exactly, like in this example, how we can correlate to how the paddles work from horizontally left to right?
So but isn't like the other paddle like it's you're not moving it, right? Is
Yeah,
that
the paddles
computer?
just go left, right, and then you
Oh,
just
so it's not like an actual computer that's
yeah,
playing with you.
yeah.
Okay, so okay.
The way you can do
Um,
that, I mean, I guess you just have to set the object, which is the paddle one paddle, which is one sprite, I guess. And it has characteristic traits about the distance it can move, which is the animation, and so on, right? So
yeah, I
you want
think
to,
yeah, I
yeah,
think in that sense, I think one sprite I don't know if you can put two battle boards, but if you make it two sprites, you can just make it equal to each other, and it will have you're duplicating all the properties to the other one. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
I'll just
pretty much it.
correlate. So the way to do this when you guys see your homework, right? You guys know how paddleball works, right? Pretty much hit a ball back and forth. Paddle.
Pong. I think that was the game Pong, right?
Pong, yeah,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, so pretty much the way to do this is first set up a sprite. Uh, you, I'm pretty sure you need like three main sprites, right? Which would be one paddle, then the other paddle, which you can just correlate, just mirror together, and then the ball to move in an if-then conditional statement, right? So if it hits the paddle in a certain place, then it goes in a certain direction. So you pretty much need if-then statements, but the first thing you want to do is just set up the sprites like over here. Vedant, you can show them again how they set the sprite up over here. Set up the sprites to move horizontally for the paddle ball and try to mirror them. And then later you can set the ball to move in a certain direction correlated to where it hits the paddle. We'll answer your questions in next class for the homework, but real quickly, I guess we can just show them a little bit about how they can get started through in this area.
Okay, yeah. I see this. I think this is kind of like the Dino game more than Flappy Bird.
Mm-hmm.
And the enemy is these buildings. So I do want to reinstate that enemy is these buildings. This is the character, and then this is the jump button. So first, what you would do is obviously initialize all of these variables, and this can be your like adjusting your jump like length, adjusting how much time it takes to jump, adjusting the speed of the jump, adjusting all of that stuff. That's each of those can be your variables. So later you can like adjust them. And at first, like once you come to the screen, what do you want it to do? That's when you're setting up the whole screen. So you're going to have your background, you're going to have your character here, you're going to have your button here, and you're going to have an enemy right here. That's what this is all setting up. And the exact place is again math wise with the screen's height and width. And then you're going to, let's see, that's when you start the game. And then you have the timer so that you can have your character move again, like a GIF or, having that animation. You're going to have your enemy, like the buildings, continuously come. So, like, if a building reaches the edge of the screen and the character did not, like, hit it, then it'll bring another building. So that's why it says enemy dot edge reached. Then you have like what if you actually touch it then? What if you actually touch the enemy or the building? That's when it sorry. That's when it closes the screen and goes to the next screen that says thank you. And now what about like actually coding this button? That's when you get, if the button is touched and you're making the jump, like you're gonna actually make the character jump. And that's when the variables come in saying like, hey, global variable jump equal to true. That means you're actually jumping. And we created a timer for that exact jump. So that's creating a timer starting and saying 100 milliseconds, that's going to jump. And then each time you press the button, it becomes true. So jump is true, timer is there, 100 milliseconds, and then stops. But what if you press the button again? It does the same thing. You can also, but at the same time, there are some like here set character to do all this stuff or picture, and you can have it
You can just pretty much
say
change the
these.
animations because like this is pretty much if then statement, right? So if the character does this, then you can get the character to jump or move or whatever, like
Right,
Vidal just showed y'all.
right,
Do you have any
right.
questions on this? You guys have any questions on this?
Yeah, we post this code because this is actually like very helpful to just look at.
Yeah.
And yeah. I also have like this is not this is like the dinosaur game when you don't have any internet. I also posted like the Flappy Bird, which is I think more complicated in the code wise, but you can just take a look. On how it
Yeah.
also shows, let me just finish this point. It also shows like just in this MIT app manager, you can just make a simple game. And also shows how Flappy Bird is kind of simple in a way in terms of the game, but it became popular. All right, go ahead.
Pretty much. If you can see, if you wait, first, just let me know. Do you guys have any questions on this? Let us know in the chat. Okay, if you're good, I posted the homework in the Discord. Can y'all see it? Daniel, Jessica, can y'all see the homework in the Discord? Yes, the ping. Yes, yes, it is this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I saw that.
So pretty much, do you guys, if you when you first glance at the homework, do you have any main questions on it that we can quick show you guys to get you guys started a little bit? No questions?
All right. Yeah, if you have any questions afterwards, we have office hours, but again, you gotta fill out that form.
Yeah, but we'd recommend you just I guess you just ask us next class. That's probably a little bit better. You can also join office hours, but we also answer classes question in next class if that's better for you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
If nothing, you
anything
guys are
from
good
me?
to go.
Anything from you, Jay?
No, that's pretty much it.
All
They
right.
don't, yeah, they're good to go.
Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you next class.